Hello and welcome to your region this week. I'm Anandi Carol Woolery. We've got a packed show for you, so let's get started. Chevrolet Canada was in Elora on Thursday, announcing that the town has been named 2019's most road-trippable town in Canada. Here's the breakdown of how Elora drew so much attention.
Welcome everybody, congratulations. You are the most road-trippable town in all of Canada, and I'm not sure if you realize how big of a deal this is because this was a national competition. We're talking from New Brunswick to British Columbia to Vancouver to St. John. And here's what happened. We chose 9 families and we gave them 2 challenges. 1, find the one place in all of Canada that every single person should visit. And 2, thank you for your excitement, madame. You can clap if you want, it's okay. So they had not only had to find the most beautiful place in Canada, the place that all other Canadians should visit, they had to document it. They had to make a trailer. And these are not filmmakers. This is the Shaver family, the ones that came to Elora, ladies and gentlemen. They're not filmmakers. We gave them a tablet, a phone, and like a 5-minute training video. And we said, make something amazing.
The winner of this year's Most Roadtrippable Town in Canada is the Shaver family, who went to Elora, Ontario in their 2019 Chevrolet Equinox. In addition to crowning Elora, Ontario as the most road-trippable town in Canada, Chevrolet would like to present Elora, Ontario with a donation in kind worth $10,000.
1, 2, 3.
Well, Elora was actually a suggestion made to us, and we had been raised about an hour outside of Elora but had never been here. So last year we moved to Muskoka, and so when we were coming back here we thought, wow, we really missed out on a lot of time here in Elora.
And then we will have the recipient of the new Chevrolet Equinox, okay, with the special red striped tires. And I will hand the key to the person that's going to be driving this vehicle. All right? So, if I could have, at the end of the countdown, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, Christy!
It is the greatest gift. It is so exciting for our family. We had not taken a lot of road trips before, having small children and not sure of how it would go. So to have those memories that we've created, to be given that gift, but then also to win the car is just amazing for us.
Chevrolet was looking for an opportunity to supply experiences to people across Canada. Take their vehicles, go on a road trip, experience, and hopefully have lasting memories, just like I have from the train. So hopefully their memories outlast, and the Equinox will definitely outlast the life of the train.
It feels awesome. This is amazing. Like, for those of us who've grown up here, we know this is a great place to live. But for it to be an awesome place to visit and to receive this recognition, that just makes us proud. We've done a lot to make this place great to live in, and as a result, people want to visit, and that's awesome.
Kitchener Fire was out this week reminding drivers, parents, and students to always pay attention and drive safely in a school zone.
We had a suggestion from one of our captains, Captain Steve Young, that had read about the states that was doing this, and we thought it was a great initiative to let the public know that school is now back in session and they should slow down around the school zones. So the goal here primarily is just to, again, alert people that school is back in session, that they should slow down. We also have our firefighters out handing out stickers, and we're more than willing to talk to the parents about any fire safety concerns that they have.
Parents dropping their kids off where they shouldn't be, actually. Pulling just over to the curb and letting them run across the road and things like that, you know. They should park somewhere, let their child come to the crossing guard, cross properly.
Absolutely, slow down, take your time. We got a lot of kids that are excited and some not so excited about going to school, maybe not paying attention as much as they should, so we have to be extra alert around the school zones.
Slow down. Take a couple extra minutes. It doesn't take long. You know, we have a 40 zone right here and people are going way faster a lot of the time than that. So
School is back in. We're only out here for 1 week of the year, but the school runs for around 10 months a year. So we have our campaign running right now, but you should be aware the whole school year long.
Yeah, just respect the children, slow down, obey the signs, and it'll all be good.
Your Region This Week continues right after this. Welcome back. 570 News' Mike Farwell speaks with Regional Councillor Tom Galloway about why the Ion is not quite meeting expectations.
Tom, thanks for joining us this morning.
Morning, Mike, and we made it by 15 minutes, not 84 minutes.
15? You want to make it even cheekier, do you?
Yeah, cheekier, yeah.
Tom, when it comes to the frequency of service with these trains, I know we have a stated goal, ultimately, of having trains every 8 minutes. We're not there yet. Why not?
Well, originally in the contract with Grand Link, we were to start service at 15 minutes. And that was thought to be what we could start with and then ramp up from there. We did start with 10-minute service, which was considerably better than the 15-minute service. And, of course, that's for peak periods, not on weekends, of course. And then ultimately we want to get to 8 minutes. And we have enough vehicles to do that, except that two of the vehicles, the 14 vehicles, are always kind of set aside for routine maintenance and for any problems that have occurred, anything that's been broke or regular maintenance. And now we're putting aside for a period of time 2 vehicles for the various upgrades and modifications that Bombardier Engineering has come up with for these vehicles. And our contract with Bombardier requires them for a 2-year period to provide us with all those upgrades and modifications as they come out at no charge. And when I say no charge, we paid $6.5 million a vehicle, so we're paying for it. But it's something they are required to do contractually for 2 years to provide for those upgrades and modifications that these vehicles get on a continuous basis.
Why is it, Tom, that we're seeing the need for upgrades and modifications on train cars that have been running for only a few months here in the region?
Oh, it's really a production matter. So the 14th vehicle, when it arrived, had most of those modifications and upgrades already installed, but the vehicles previous to that vehicle may not have had them because they had not yet been engineered down at the plant. You have to keep in mind that these are the first vehicles off the assembly line of this particular model, although many of the components are common with the TTC unit.
After the summer novelty period, perhaps, and now that we're into the fall and back to school, how do you feel about the system's performance to date?
Well, the units have been quite reliable, and the timing and the service levels have been very good. The numbers are outstanding, so I'm pretty pleased about that. And of course, that's just on the operational ridership side, and we continue to see major new announcements on new construction along the route as well.
The City of Kitchener is reintroducing their redevelopment strategy and is looking for your input. Make It Kitchener 2.0 is an initiative that listens to residents' opinions on the city and turns them into action. We spoke with the city about the initiative.
This community has a track record of always looking out, 5-10 years from now and saying, are we doing the right things now to make sure that we continue to have this kind of success going forward, and is everybody in our community experiencing success and able to be part of change. So every 4 years, we always pause and we take a big look and ask our community and our business leaders, our community leaders, how they see Kitchener now and into the future. So what we're looking for today is we want to understand from the community, what do they see? What kind of opportunities do they see, or what challenges are they facing? What are they worried about when it comes to either employment or the vibrancy of our city? And we want to understand those so we can do the right things now to make sure that we stay an exciting and dynamic and growing city. So one of the spirits that came out of our last strategy was to capture that notion that really Make It Kitchener means if you want to make a difference in this community, you can. The city will help, the business community will help, residents will help. We all rally together to make change together, to make it Kitchener a better place. So ultimately what council will do, right now we just want to hear from the community. We want to hear their opportunities, the challenges they see, and the ideas they have for how we make Kitchener better. Once we hear all of that, probably in about mid-October, we'll start to we'll look at all of the input and we'll start to develop a strategy. At this point, what do we need to be doing? What are the great ideas? And then City Council will ultimately determine if it's important enough, what's the level of funding that goes with it. So we've started to hear lots of feedback from the community, from residents, from business leaders. We know that we're seeing a lot of success. There's a lot of great things happening in Kitchener, but we also know that the world is changing really fast. So there's a handful of challenges that have already been raised that we know we need to put our mind to. We know that automation is changing certain sectors, and we want to make sure that every resident who may be affected by whether it's artificial intelligence, automation, robotics, still has an opportunity to have a job here, have a successful job. So we need to understand where this change happening and how do we help residents prepare for if roles and occupations are changing. So we're looking for residents to share their ideas, their challenges, the opportunities they see, and there's two real great ways that they can do it. Number one is they can go to makeitKitchener.ca, and there's a survey. They can fill out the survey, and the survey gives them a chance to tell us how they feel the city is growing, what impacts they might be experiencing within their job. The second option is we have a large community symposium. We call it Ideas of the Brave. It happens in early October, where typically about 150 residents, business leaders, community leaders will all gather for a 3-hour community symposium where we just ask all the community to come together and share their ideas together, share their challenges together. So all of the details about that event for folks that are interested in attending that symposium are also at makeitKitchener.ca.
Your Region This Week. We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back. 519 Sports Online covers the first OFL game of the season, with the Waterloo Region Predators taking on the Brantford Bisons.
Opening day in the OFL, and a pair of 519 teams squaring off at St. David High School in Waterloo. The Brantford Bisons and Waterloo Region Predators meeting in bantam action in week 1. First possession for the Bisons. The handoff to Travis Gertz. He gets to the outside, and Gertz is gone. That's a 25-yard run for the first TD of the game. It's 7-0 Brantford. Later, it's Gertz again. This kid can motor. He goes 48 yards for his second touchdown of the game. Gertz giving his team an early 13-0 lead. The Predators now trying to get something going, and a nice catch by Emmett Gamble. He picks up a first down. The Region on the move, but the Bisons' defense would stand tall. Dustin Pletch and Jared Wheeler combining for this tackle. They bring down Justin Lockhead-Weiler, and the Predators with no points on the possession. Second quarter, it's another huge run by Travis Gertz. He is off to the races for his third TD of the game. This time Gertz goes 74 yards to the end zone. Brantford is up 19-0. The Preds looking to answer, and a solid run by Oren Shiek. He goes up the middle for a first down. Shiek getting the ball almost to midfield. A few plays later, Aiden Paulington under pressure, and he is taken down for a sack. Dustin Pletch breaking through for the Bisons, and they would take over possession at the 45-yard line. Here is Gabriel Hamilton picking up 18 yards and a first down. Brantford trying to extend their lead. They get it down to the 2-yard line. Quarterback Ben Spangenberger goes to the air and connects with Ryan McFadden. The Bisons taking a 25-point advantage. Waterloo now with the ball, and how about this play? Aiden Paulington to Levi Lichty, and a terrific grab by the Predators receiver. The Region trying to strike before the half is over, but once again, Dustin Pletch delivering. He was outstanding on defense for the Bisons. Brantford with a 25-0 lead at the break, third quarter. The handoff to Sam Cavan. He finds a lane and he takes it all the way for another touchdown. The Bisons with a 31-point lead, and they open the regular season with a victory on the road. Brantford over Waterloo, 46-14 is the final. Preseason action on Tuesday night in Major Midget Hockey. The Kitchener Junior Rangers hitting the ice at home, facing the Huron Perth Lakers at the Activa Sportsplex. Second period, how about this goal by Adam Hoff? He picks it up behind the net and scores an unbelievable goal. Hoff giving the Junior Rangers a 1-0 lead. A few minutes later, more from KJR. David Gruber at the far point fires into traffic and he scores. Gruber giving the Rangers a 2-goal lead after 2. When it was over, the Junior Rangers prevail as they down the Lakers. 2-0 is the final.
Waterloo Regional Police started a campaign to help students stay safe while keeping positive about school. We spoke with Ashley Dietrich about the Walk the Chalk campaign.
So we're encouraging children, parents, and caregivers to participate in the Walk the Chalk campaign. It really promotes safety messaging. We're encouraging people to write safety messaging along the sidewalks on their route to school so that on their first day they can be reminded of some of those safety messaging. We're also accepting videos as well as artwork from children, sharing their very own safety messaging, and you can send that into our social media websites or even our email address. We wanted to ensure that every child, student traveling to and from school arrives safely. We did send out some school safety reminders. We're really encouraging children, parents, and caregivers to ensure that they have a safe route to and from school. We're also encouraging people to cross at designated crosswalks. We also want to remind motorists to slow down, be alert, and stop for school bus drivers as well as crossing guards.
Every week until the federal election, Your Region This Week will be sharing the names of the candidates in your local riding. This week, we're focusing on the riding of Kitchener Centre. The riding is currently held by Liberal MP Rod Saini, who will be seeking re-election. The candidates looking to take over the seat are Stephen Woodworth of the Progressive Conservative Party, Andrew Moraga of the New Democratic Party, Mike Morris of the Green Party, Patrick Bernier of the People's Party, and Alan Pappenberg of the Animal Protection Party. On October 21st, voters in the Kitchener Centre riding will have the chance to elect the candidate they favor the most. Your Region This Week will continue right after the break. Welcome back. The Ontario government was in Elmira last Monday announcing a new partnership program with the federal government that will allow farmers to get support in their fight against trade wars.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Mike Harris. I'm the MPP here in Kitchener-Conestoga, And it's great to be joined today by Joe Hill from the Beef Farmers of Ontario as the president there, Eric Schwint from Ontario Pork, Brendan Burney from the Grain Farmers of Ontario, and we're also joined today by Jim Clark and John Baker from Ontario Corn-Fed Beef. And of course, the wonderful Minister of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, Ernie Hardeman.
Well, this is the announcement to make sure that we do everything we can to help increase the market for our pork, beef, and the grain and oil seeds. Obviously, with the China border being closed, we have more product than we have customers, and we have to move forward with that. We have, as quickly as we could, we've designed a program through the CAP, the Canadian Agriculture Partnership. We've developed a program where people can apply for, and we will pay 75% of the cost of trying to increase the market, and the applicant will do it 25%, so that'll encourage people to move forward in trying to get those markets opened.
Today's announcement provides important recognition of the costs that escalating trade disruption and barriers are having on the competitiveness and viability of the Ontario beef sector. Like many sectors in agriculture, the Ontario beef sector is heavily dependent on the export market. Close to 1/3 of all beef produced in Ontario is exported to higher value markets like the United States, Japan, China, Hong Kong, Mexico, South Korea, and others.
Well, I hope that the damage to the reputation is limited, because I think everyone has been getting the message out fairly well. This isn't about the quality of our product. Okay, this is about a trade dispute that the Chinese seem to have, not even willing to put it on the table as to exactly what it is that their concern is.
Waterloo region may be known as the home of BlackBerry and technology, but as everyone sees today, we're also home to agriculture. We are thriving here, innovating, doing great things. Thanks to the Government of Canada and Ontario for this $1 million commitment to support market diversification projects for our organizations and processing partners.
Well, I think the applications will, my guess is that they will be primarily from the larger, the processing side. I was just asked the Martins here where these cattle are going. These are going to be shipped out next week. They're going to Better Beef. Better Beef needs a market for that. It's open to anyone, organizations, processors, farmers directly, the producers, that has an idea of how we can further the exporting or the movement of our goods, particularly in the cattle, hog, and grain sectors. But I think it's important to recognize that this is about trying to increase the capacity of selling our product, because we don't want to have to start decreasing our production because we have no place to sell it.
That's it for another episode of Your Region This Week. For more information on the show, or if you have a story idea, visit our website, rogerstv.com, and fill out the proposal form at the bottom. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.